Good morning. For today's math lesson, you're going to want to have your interactive notebook, pair of scissors, glue stick, a few crayons, and your orange worksheet and the one that says Fun with Fractions. And you're also going to need your packet of M&Ms, which I know everyone's really excited about. Okay. If you plan on eating your M&Ms today, make sure you wash your hands before we get started because otherwise you shouldn't eat them when you're done. Okay, before we actually get started, I want to talk a little bit about what we've learned about fractions already. So a lot of times when we've been talking about fractions, we have been talking about unit fractions or a part of a whole. So if you notice in the example, the circle is equally shared into 4 parts. So my fraction is broken up into 4 equal parts. It's not a fraction if the circle does not have equal shares or equal parts. So these pieces are not equal, so I don't have equal fractions here. A lot of times when we talk about fractions, this is what we talk about, but not always. Sometimes we talk about fractions as parts of a group. So here's an example of parts of a group. In this fish bowl, we have 2 fish. Half of the fish are orange and half of the fish are purple. 1 fish is orange and 1 fish is purple. I have 2 fish total, and since one of them is orange, that's 1/2, and one of them is purple, that's 1/2. If you notice though, they're not the same. They're not part of a whole. So it's a little different when we're talking about parts of a group. And that's actually what all of our work today is going to be about. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up my notebook to my next available page. And I'm going to start by gluing my Fun with Fractions page down. Okay, for Fun with Fractions, we're going to be talking about the parts of a group in a bag of M&Ms. So I'm going to open up my bag of M&Ms. And if you notice I'm tearing across the top, that's good, so it's a little bit easier for me to reach inside and pull a few out. So here, on my first example, I need to draw 3, 6, 7, 8 M&Ms. So I'm going to draw out 8 M&Ms. Now, if you notice, it says color and fraction. The very first color I pull is going to be the color that we're looking at to find the fraction today. So the first color that I pulled is orange. Okay, so I'm going to write down orange. Okay, and now I'm going to fill in all the rest. Oh, and if you notice I drew too many, I'm going to put these ones back. Okay, so my first job is to figure out what fraction of the M&Ms are orange. So I have 8 M&Ms total, which means that 8 is going to be my denominator, and 2 of those are orange. So I have 2 8s of these M&Ms are orange. Now, before I put my M&Ms back, or I guess rather at the same time that I put them back, I'm going to mark those colors down. So I had 2 orange, 1 yellow, 2 blue, 1 red, and 2 brown. Now, you do not have to write down the fractions of all the other things, but I do want you to stop for a second and think about what fraction would be yellow. So in mine, I'd have 1/8 would be yellow. 2/8 would be blue. 2/8 would be brown. And 1/8 would be red. Okay? Then I'm going to put them back. Give them a little shake. And I'm going to draw for my next one. Now yours are obviously going to be a little different than mine because you're going to draw different colors. So I think the first one that I drew again was orange. So I'm going to be looking at orange again. Take a second and think about, while I'm coloring, what fraction of these M&Ms would be orange. Okay, I have 3 orange, so 3 is going to be my numerator. And I have 6 total M&Ms, so 6 will be my denominator. 3 6 are orange. I need to write in orange as well. So then you're just going to continue on with the rest of these. If you want to pause the video so that you can do that, that sounds great. And we're going to move on to our next activity. So in our next activity, your job is going to be to make fractions of a group and name them. So the way that we're going to do this is, if you notice, I've already cut around, and I've also cut not all the way through my paper, but to this line, so that I have flaps that come up. And then I'm going to glue here. And then my job is to make a group on each one of these and name those fractions. So there's lots of different ways you can do this. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So one way that I could do this is by drawing fruits. So I'm going to start and we're going to draw some apples. And I'm also going to draw, actually I think I'm just going to do some oranges because I already have orange paper, so that'll make it nice and easy. Okay, so once I've drawn some kind of group, then my job is going to be to flip up the tab and write the fraction for each part. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of fruit all together, and 3 of those pieces of fruit are apples. So I'm going to record that I have 3/8 are apples, and that should actually be, I think I miscounted, I have 7. This is why it's really good to check your work. 3/7 are apples, and 4/7 are oranges. Okay, you can draw whatever pictures you'd like, and actually you don't have to use pictures if you don't want necessarily. So For example, I have some stickers that I found at my house. I can use some stickers here. Okay, so now I've got my stickers. Take a second and look at that and see if you can figure out what fraction is blue. I have 2 blue stickers, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8 stickers all together. So 2/8 are blue. Okay, how about green? I have 1 green sticker, so 1/8 are green. How about purple? I have 4 purples, so 4/8 are purple. And yellow, I have 1. 1/8 are yellow. So something that can be really helpful to do when you're working with fractions is to pay attention to how many there are all together. So if you notice, I have 8 stickers in all, and if I add my numerators, 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. It should equal back up to your denominator, which is 8. And that's actually how I noticed that I made a mistake on the first one, because I had said 3/8. I thought I counted 8, but I knew that I only had 3 apples and that I had 4 oranges, and I know that 3 plus 4 does not equal 8. 3 plus 4 equals 7. So that's how I knew that I needed to go back and check my work. And you can try this with several others. You can use stickers or draw pictures, whatever you would like. Have fun and enjoy math today.